On a classroom map, it looks easy. Draw a line around the world. Now imagine this. You're 29 years old. You decide you're going to walk that line. No planes, no buses, no going home, until you've walked all the way back to your own front door. That's what Karl Bushby did in 1998. Now more than 27 years and over 47,000 kilometers later, he's still out there, fighting not just nature, but the borders and politics that control our planet. Karl starts in Punta Arenas, Chile, at the bottom of South America on November 1st, 1998. He gives himself two rules: no motorized transport. Every meter must be under his own power. No going home to England until he arrives there, on foot. On a map, his plan looks clean. South America, North America, Asia, Europe, UK. But that's the trick of maps. They hide the jungles, wars, banned zones, and paperwork that turn a straight line into a 27-year maze. Karl heads north through Chile, Argentina, Paraguay, Brazil, Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia. On paper, it's just crossing borders. In real life, it's blisters and infections, robberies and threats, language barriers, nights sleeping wherever he can. But the real map monster is waiting at the top of South America, the Darién Gap between Colombia and Panama. On the atlas, you see a thin strip of land. In reality, it's one of the most dangerous places on Earth. No roads, thick jungle, drug cartels, armed groups, smuggling routes, and swamps. Most travelers fly over it. Karl walks straight into it, because breaking his line would break his rules. Surviving the Darién, he crosses Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Mexico, then into the United States. He walks across the U.S. all the way towards Washington, D.C., then keeps pushing north, entering Canada, and finally Alaska. Here's where the map does something weird. Between Alaska and Russia, the land almost touches. On most maps, it looks like a small gap. In reality, it's the Bering Strait. Frozen water, shifting ice, storms, and polar bears. In 2006, Karl and fellow adventurer Dmitry Kiefer decide to walk across it. The ice drifts nearly 80 kilometers off course. At any moment, the floe can break, and they disappear into the Arctic Ocean. But step by step, floe by floe. Karl walks from American soil to Russian soil. A tiny line on the map, a life-or-death crossing in reality. Crossing into Russia, the challenge changes. The danger isn't just cold, it's bureaucracy. He walks across Siberia, in temperatures dropping below -40 degrees Celsius, carrying his gear, sometimes pulling a sled. He faces weeks without seeing another human, relying on strangers in remote villages. But then he enters a restricted border zone without the right permission. To him, it's just the fastest route on the map. To Russia, it's a security breach. The result? Karl is banned from Russia for 5 years. One stamp, one decision. And suddenly, 10+ years of walking are frozen in place by a political border. For years, he battles for new visas, special invitations, and limited 90-day stays. The straight red line on his map turns into circles of detours and waiting. While fighting visa problems, Karl pays another price. During the journey, both of his parents pass away back home in England. But because of his rules, he doesn't go back for good. He keeps walking. His route continues through Mongolia, China, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and back into Kazakhstan on the edge of the Caspian Sea. On the map, the Caspian is just a blue blob. To Karl, it's a question. Do I go around, or do I cross it my way? In 32 brutal days, he and his partner swim and float around 288 kilometers from Kazakhstan to Azerbaijan, becoming some of the only people ever to complete that crossing under their own power. Again, a thin line over water on a map. In reality, exhaustion, storms, and the constant risk of drowning. From Azerbaijan, his path snakes through Georgia, Turkey, Bulgaria, Romania, Hungary, Austria, Germany, Belgium, and France. By now, Karl is in his 50s. He's walked tens of thousands of kilometers, survived the Darién Gap, the Bering Strait, Siberia, and the Caspian Sea. He's dealt with bans, rejected visas, pandemics, financial crises, and the loss of family. And still, the map says there's one last obstacle: the English Channel, the strip of water between France and the UK. To truly complete his unbroken line around the world, Karl plans to swim from France back to England and then walk to his hometown of Hull. On your classroom wall, the borders of the world look so simple. Karl's journey proves they're anything but. They are jungles and deserts, laws and bans, guns and stamps, ice and open water. So next time you look at a neat line on a map, remember, for one man, that line became 27 years of walking. And the biggest question of all, can a single human truly walk around the world? Or will our borders always decide where every journey ends?